especially hopefully to get in Jermaine Burton's ear. Running backs, they usually keep four. Chase Brown, Zach Moss are your two starters. Not sure who's actually going to be starting the games, but I expect them both to be used um, close to equally. Travion Williams also signed for another year in free agency, so that might get you to three. But then Chris Evans was the other one that's under contract, and there's no way that Chris Evans is on this team. They don't trust him. He can't be trusted with the team. He had a run at kickoffs there for a little bit. Like I think he has some potential, but it's just never worked out. And he's going into his third or fourth year. It's just time to move on. So I'm not going over the free agents that they signed, but I know they signed a couple of free agent running backs. There's a strong chance that one of them make the team over him, and Malik Wright from the sports analog or whatever that group is that he runs. He had floated the idea that the Bengals are thinking about moving Drew Sample to H-back / fullback. So maybe Drew Sample becomes your fourth running back, and then that opens up a spot in the tight end room as well. Once we get to tight ends, you'll be like, oh, okay, how are we counting these particular people to try to get them onto the active game day roster? But the Bengals didn't draft a running back. So these two dudes, Travion, and then we'll figure out what's going to happen with that fourth running back spot. The wide receiver room, now that's a little bit different too. And I don't think I'm crazy when I say this, when I don't think there's a spot open for wide receivers on this roster at this point. Once you factor in the draft from last year and this year, they usually keep six: Jamar, T, Jermaine Burton, the rookie, Yoshi, Charlie Jones, Trent Irwin. That's six. Where are they going to find somebody else to get it? The rookie will come in, he will play. I'm assuming he will be game day active every week, bar an injury or he does something stupid. But that's it. Like there's no other position group or they're going to be adding any wide receivers or anything like that. So the wide receivers are set. Next year it'll be a little bit different when T leaves. I'm wearing my T-shirt today, but like this is set, and he's probably going to be the rookie that probably plays the most because I would imagine he becomes wide receiver 3 in this offense at this point. And there's going to be some. Is everybody going to be active on game day? They usually are all active on game day. And let's see how that kind of plays out. Charlie Jones and Trent Irwin may be fighting out for one spot. And again, I'll take that back to the tight end position, that maybe they count Mike Gesicki as a receiver, air quotation, and then that opens up the wide receiver room for them to float something around. But yeah, Charlie Jones and Trent Irwin are probably in a training camp battle of some sort. Charlie Jones maybe gets a little bit of the edge there because of his ability to return kicks and punts. But yeah, it'll be interesting out of that particular group to see how it plays out. So there's the tight ends. So they usually keep three. Drew Sample, Mike Gesicki would normally be your two people that to start there. And then you have Eric All, the tight end they drafted from Iowa, who's coming off of an ACL from October. So if you count that out as a 9 to 10 month injury, he should be ready for training camp in August. But who knows, where that knee is going to be. Tanner McLaughlin, another tight end out of Arizona, and then Tanner Hudson, who they signed as a free agent after spending last year in Cincinnati. So if you're keeping three, who are the three? Again, if you move Drew Sample over to the running back room and he's your fourth running back, okay, bet. Then that opens up a spot in the tight ends. If you don't do that and you move Gesicki over into the wide receiver room, then he is the sixth wide receiver, and then you still have a spot open, and then maybe you go Sample, Eric All, and then Tanner McLaughlin and Tanner Hudson are fighting it out. It's a kind of a, should be an interesting battle. I know everybody loves Tanner Hudson, and that's great. And he really didn't get a chance to play that much with Joe Burrow before, the injury. So, maybe he's going to be that receiving tight end along with Mike Gesicki, that the Bengals are using in that regard. But does Tanner Hudson become redundant if you have Mike Gesicki? Gesicki can't block. Tanner Hudson can barely block. Is there room on this roster for two primary receiving tight ends? And again, a lot of this is going to depend on the health of Eric All. Can he come back and be the player that he was at Michigan and at Iowa before he got injured? He's somebody that they projected as an early round pick The only reason they had an opportunity to draft him because of the injury. So let's kind of see how that goes as well. But I'm kind of interested in the roster maneuvers there. But all things being equal, if he's healthy, Eric All should play like a lot. Tanner McLaughlin is probably practice squad material at this point, and then you have to make the worry about, is he going to be able to survive on the practice squad without somebody signing him up? No, he's 25, man, a 25-year-old rookie. That's a lot, but we'll see what happens there.